G'day, Joe. How you
Doing all right. How
doing?
about yourself?
Yeah, we're all good.
Nice.
It's been a little
Yeah.
while.
Seems like 1 week off does seem like it's forever now.
Yeah, and I need to get a haircut. I was supposed to get a haircut, but I haven't yet, and so every
Uh,
day feels like
Well,
forever because I'm
don't go
scared
to my
to.
barber. No.
Yeah,
It never grows back.
my dad goes interstate to go to the barbers,
Oh,
bro.
really? He's got a guy he likes.
Yeah, because you know how we live on the
Hmm.
border. Yeah, he
Is it?
goes and he crosses. He goes into New South Wales to get his
Doesn't that
haircut.
take him like 3 hours to get across the city and then back? Uh,
Nah, there's no
uh,
security. There's no. We don't share borders with
nice.
anyone, so
So he's just got someone who like
yeah.
they do it right. They know how to cut the hair.
Yeah. It's a mate of his. So yeah, you go down. It's about a 10-15 minute drive.
Mm. I've been cutting my own hair like forever.
Oh
Still doing
yeah.
it. And I cut my kids' hair too. But then Logan for a while he was like, "No, I don't want to." I'm like, "Fine, don't. Okay, here." But then he came back. He's like, "Nah, just cut it." So, but then just recently when we dropped him off at school, his sister took him in to get this pretty fancy haircut, and so now he thinks I have.
How much the hair? How much the haircuts
It's
cost
like
over there?
$50 for a guy.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
cheap,
it's
eh?
crazy. I'm like, man, think of all the haircuts I've been saving. My oldest son's hair
That's
is
why.
like
That's why I
down to
don't get a
here.
haircut because I've got to get a. If they charge me an extra 15-20 bucks just for the beard as well, So so I can't get a haircut every
Do
month.
they trim your haircut? Is that hey Tia?
Hello.
Yeah. Hey.
We're just talking about Ethan's unpruned beard and hair that
Yeah, it's been way too long, and yeah, it's pretty bad.
he was trying to come and to show some class, but it's not happening today. So
That
fair enough.
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yes. Well, I appreciate rescheduling. I was in Colorado last week. I was in Denver, and I found out why they call it the Mile High City. It's because you cannot go a mile without finding a pot store. They're everywhere. The
Additionally, if you go up too high in the mountains, you start to lose your breath.
So they say. So they say. I didn't make it. I didn't make up any of the 14,000
Yeah.
elevation mount. I didn't make any of those. We just did a climb in Oregon the week before. So then my son, we basically looked at colleges the whole time, and I was trying to convince my daughter to check out the school in Boulder, and
Ah.
I was real excited because my son goes to Mines in Denver, or I guess Golden.
Oh, an
And so I was,
engineer.
yeah, so I was trying to get him a mechanical engineer. I think this is where we're
One
going
of
with
my
you as
friends
well.
went there and studied metallurgy, and he's
Ah,
real nerdy. So I'd say that's a
nice.
real good school.
You're gonna
I
have to help us what metallurgy is.
Oh yeah. It's just a subset of
Is that a
mechanical. We just
word? That's a
study
real word.
material properties.
Isn't that
Really
when
looking into stuff.
Nice.
I think meteorology. I think that's when you're born and they give you a
Yeah, yeah,
star
yeah. That's what
sign.
it is. That's what.
Not
That's what
quite.
it
That's
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
astrology. All of the
Ah, I was way
ologies,
off.
urgies. Difficult to keep up with them all.
Yeah, we better stay. Let me kick us off. Welcome to the conversation where we unpack the wild, interconnected chaos shaping our world, including the population's decline and all the reasons for it. Your hosts, Joe Edgar and Ethan Crock. And today's guest is Taya, correct? Taya Phillips?
Taya Phillips, that's me.
Who has a degree from Tennessee Tech University in mechanical engineering, who honed her skills at Oak Ridge for 3 years, inspired to improve arthritis care. She co-invented Meta Aflex therapy gloves through TTU's Innovation in Healthcare Club. As founder at ATS Innovation Inc., she launched Meta Aflex, an affordable solution enhancing arthritis patients' quality of life, and spent some time, I found out, at Y12. So thank you for joining us today, Taya. Glad we can kick this off. Now, you, as I've read, you grew up in rural Tennessee. Now, when I think growing up in rural Tennessee, I think Smoky Mountains and your parents were making moonshine.
Oh, I wish. No, I
Oh.
didn't get into the Smokies
So
until
you could use your
started
bathtub
working
then.
at
Gotcha.
Y12. Rural.
Did you have an outhouse?
We didn't know. Middle Tennessee, really flat, lots of horses. Horse farms, is where I'm from. Just middle of nowhere, tiny little place. Had a Walmart which was
nice.
one thing.
And a Dollar General.
Oh, a couple dollars. You know,
Yeah.
they really like rural areas and stuff.
Yes. Now,
That sounds fancy to me.
yeah, Ethan's beach life. So your parents lived there. Why'd they pick there? Your family from there? I mean, what brought you? Said it's Middleton, Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee. It's called
Middle Tennessee.
Shelbyville.
Oh, that's not the
Tennessee.
town. Got it. Good. Okay.
Yeah,
Shelby, Tennessee.
Shovel is
Nice.
how you say it when you're a local.
Gotcha.
And
Shovel.
my mom
Shovel,
is from
Tennessee.
Shovel.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So did you work on having to change your accent as you went through your education?
So when I was younger, I thought the Southern accent was so cute. My friends are like, I'm putting my clothes in the wash and all that. And I started doing it. And my mom was like, hey, nobody's going to take you seriously. And she, at a young age, kind of like got that out of me. But now I use it all the time because I just think it's so cute. Like, and it's
Now
fun
that
to
you
say.
arrived, you're like, I could swing this now. So
I can just like be that rural princess for everybody.
nice, very nice. All right, so how'd you get there? How long's your family out of Taya?
At Shovel,
Shovel.
generations. I don't know. My Nana, my grandmother, was really into collecting our family history, and we would always go to libraries and pull records and shit, and I was really bored by it. So I really didn't pay attention to it, but she's got books and books and books of where
Nice.
we came from. I do not know. My dad tells me that his grandparents are Italian immigrants, which is pretty cool. So we went up and visited
Well, you hear that?
where they
You
were
hear
from
that,
up near
Ethan?
Chicago.
She's
got
like
some great
mafia
Italian food.
all over it. She wants the mafia and Italian food, but these Tennessee people who like built the country, she's like, I don't know, something. All right, so Dad told you he's got some Italian roots. Now you actually went to Italy to.
No, not yet,
Oh.
not yet.
Gotcha,
It's on
you
my
haven't done
bucket
it.
list, but I haven't made it out there yet. We just went up to
Gotcha.
Chicago where they settled, or no, it was like right under St. Louis where they settled. And then they have some people in New Orleans, family in Texas. My mom, I don't know. I think they're all like from Tennessee somewhere, but I wasn't too interested in it when we were doing all the research. So I really couldn't tell you.
Nice. I think you get into it as you
Don't
get
know who you
older.
are.
So now you have any siblings? What's your family makeup?
Yeah, I have an older brother, Tyler, and a younger sister, Jocelyn. And Tyler's in Shovel, and Jocelyn is in Fort Lauderdale.
What's the most Tennessee word you can say? Because in Texas we say all y'all. So I mean you don't really have
all
us on that one.
y'all. Yeah, I don't know. Putting it in the wash.
Warsh. That's the word we're going to
Wash
use
with
today.
an R.
Warsh.
Yeah, wash. Yeah, that's one of them.
Warshing. Got to go do some washing. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So Tyler is your older brother. How close are you and he as far as age and your younger sister?
He's 3 years older than me, and then my
Okay.
sister and I are like a little over a year apart. So,
Nice. Fairly close.
Irish twins.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Close enough you could all do your washing together. So
We all washed it together. Yeah,
I like it. And your parents, are they still in
they're in
Shovel?
Shelbyville. Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
yeah, they're there.
And now what brought you? You're the second oldest. I'm interested in what your brother did and what your father and mother did for professions.
Yeah. My mom worked as an accountant for a long time, and now she does supply chain management. So just more numbers.
Six
and
Sigma.
She's good at numbers. And then my
Nice.
dad is he works at a factory that makes steel tubes for a factory. And he helps keep the machines up and running and
Sounds like rockets.
Yes.
keep it all going. So he's got
Yes.
that innovative engineering, tinkering mind.
Yes.
And my mom's really numbers oriented. And I was lucky enough to get a little bit of both of
I was
those.
going to say, that explains where you got this little job, because here you are, you're in a rural community. I mean, what was the education system like there?
Yeah, I mean, I went to a really good school, but we did have classes in trailers because the school was growing so quickly, like in population,
whole town's
and they
in
didn't have
trailers.
funding to expand the school, so they
Wait,
do it cheap.
Is that racist? Can you say that?
Was that Racist? No, it's a trailer. They
I said, is that racist? Are you allowed to say trailer? I
no,
don't know.
double
I
wide.
don't
They
live in
bought
America.
double
I don't
wide
know what the rules are.
trailers, and they put my English class in them. And that was on school grounds, and I walked through the mud to get to it. Yeah, rural Tennessee in the backwoods. That's right.
Nice.
And was Walmart across the road from the school?
It's in the
It
parking lot. They put
wasn't.
these
It
in the
actually
Walmart parking lot.
Walmart was probably a good 15, 20 minutes from the school. It's not
Nice.
close. That's big
center of town.
city. I
Center
was
of
in the
town, yeah.
city.
I see. You had to go through the stop sign to get through to get
A
to Walmart.
couple.
Then.
There's more than one stop sign even. Yeah.
Now, how supportive of was your school? You are somewhat of a pariah. You are definitely focused on engineering. Focused on being an
That
engineer.
sounds bad.
You wanted to pursue mathematics. I mean, how did you? I mean, you must have liked mathematics. It sounds like you got it from your mom, and your father was a tinkerer, so you wanted to be an engineer. So, what, and how did they help you in school to get you ultimately to where you wanted to study mechanical engineering?
My parents helped me in school by putting me through school. So they funded my college education, and I am forever grateful for that.
Benefactors. Nice.
Benefactors. Yeah, absolutely.
Reading
but
about
they-
you having kids about your age, to be honest, I would say your dad's probably very proud. I think this is nice. For Ethan and I, this is kind of like we get to pry into the kids we wish we had. It's mine because we won't talk about the ones we actually know.
Hey, Joe, stop going public with your
I know.
disappointment, bro. Your kids have feelings, okay?
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty proud. Because the innovation was, I have the reason for making Meta Aflex, which is to help my grandmother, and to improve people's health. And they definitely thought I was crazy when I quit they funded my engineering degree. I graduated. I had a job at Y12 National Security Complex. And for those who don't know, that's a really good job.
Let's actually jump into that. Did that require... So for anyone who knows what Y12 is, these are typically nuclear scientists who are either engaged in helping make fuel for our nuclear arsenal or trying to avoid other countries from advancing their nuclear thing. So I assume there's some kind of a security background that was involved in there.
Yeah. I had a really cool clearance.
That's all she's going to say on that.
That's all she's going to say.
It was a great job.
There's a good talk about.
I helped to secure the world.
It's like Fight Club.
We don't talk about Y12,
The 2 rules of working at Y12. You don't talk about what. Well, fun. I mean, that's got to be a fantastic job. I mean, it did pay well. Now you took, and not only that, but you were, I assume, engaged in some of the most exciting stuff happening, especially you look at where the world is now. So it's very exciting. You took that and left because you had found this tool to basically help your grandmother had an arthritis problem. Let's walk through real quick to talk about a little bit about your business, because you did leave that, and it's a glove, right?
Yeah, I can show you. So I made the Meta Aflex glove. Meta Aflex is something that I actually created when I was studying engineering at Tennessee Tech back in 2018. And I made it to help people manage arthritis at home. So I found that a lot of people have arthritis. A lot of people can't afford to go to the doctor. And when they can, they're prescribed compression and strengthening. Then I found that people aren't doing their strengthening exercises because it's time consuming and burdensome. So I made a wearable strengthener. So Meta Aflex is a gentle compression, and it has these stretchy resistance bands that run the length of the fingers, mimicking the tendons, that just work to open the hand. So as you go about your day grabbing things, you're working against those bands to strengthen. And when you're at rest, you're stretching, always a gentle compression. So yeah, I made Meta Aflex when I was studying engineering in 2018. I also interned for Y12 in 2018, graduated in 2018, and had a job offer. So when I graduated, my parents had paid for my education, but I didn't have like this huge savings account because I was a student and I had worked through college as an engineer at different places, but I didn't feel comfortable enough just starting a business. So I had an offer from Y12 for a nice amount of money, and I took it, and I worked there for about 3 years. And then, like I said, I made this for my grandmother and she was getting worse. I was to the point in my career where I thought I'm ready for my next opportunity, whether that be like within the company, with another company, or what if I just bet on myself? And I just felt a responsibility to bring this to the world because of how much it would have helped my grandmother regain her independence and her quality of life and feel better. And I kind of felt guilty that I had put it on the back burner all those years ago. So I jumped back into it. I got it to market, and now it's helping a lot of people.
Nice. I mean, any entrepreneurs in your family?
My dad is an inventor.
Ah.
So my dad, when I was in high school, he invented this thing he called Mower Plus, and Troy Built bought it and calls
Oh,
it
wow.
the Flex. So he invented that, and the idea was his garage was all cluttered, and he had all of this equipment. He's like, all of this uses the same type of motor, so I just make a motor and then attachments that go onto it
You
to
just
make
pop
it
it in.
a lawnmower or a pressure washer or a log, this or that or this or that. So I watched him do that, and that was really inspirational because I saw him and I thought, if he can do it, I can do it. And that definitely gave me the push. But he sold his patent to someone else, and I'm like doing it a different way.
Yeah.
So I've collected mentors along the way, and I have a great team of advisors that know things that I don't and have expertise where I don't. So that's how I've supplemented my lack of experience.
Wow. So you have jumped in it. You've now put together a team. You've given up your Y12 opportunity.
And my parents thought I was crazy. Everybody
It
thought I
still
was
sounds
crazy.
like you're a little crazy. You're still a little
I
crazy.
think you
But
have to be.
Yeah.
entrepreneurs are crazy. You're talking to
I
two
think
here.
there needs to be a test.
So Ethan and I are both wackos. We're in the same field. So we feel we definitely understand the need to go after something. You've made this nice invention, the Meta Aflex. Sounds like did you borrow? I mean, it makes sense. The Meta Aflex. It also, stems from your dad's invention.
And her dad invented something.
Yeah,
for the
I was gonna
Flex
say
too,
the
right?
Flex.
Your dad's invention was Flex.
Wasn't that
sounds
so
like
cool?
It's in the family.
And I didn't come up with the name. One of my co-inventors, Sergio. So I had a couple of people that helped me invent Meta Aflex. And they're on the patents. They own part of the company, but they weren't interested in entrepreneurship. But when we were beginning, we were working on it together. And Sergio came up with the name Meta Aflex, which is metacarpal, like the bones, and then flex because it's adjustable. And when I heard it, I was like, my dad has a flex. Like, that's going to be so cool. And we use it in our marketing. We like flex on them. It's such a fun little thing to have.
That is a good flex, definitely.
Yeah.
And now he can provide
a
the
flex.
engine of which turns on the washing, and you can throw your gloves in. They're washable. See? So we got.
I actually recommend that you
Tennessee.
hand
Are they
wash the Meta
washable?
Aflex, but we're almost there.
Oh.
Yeah.
They recommend.
There you go.
They recommend the hand washing. So
Hand
tell me
washing.
about your experience as a young female from Tennessee going through school, and be as blatant as you can. Ethan, I won't bite, but I realize you're going through lots of stuff, but you went through Y12. Not only are you female, but you're also young. So I imagine you had a lot of people not liking you for being so young. But then you also went through an engineering school. I just dropped off my son at Mines. 70% male.
Or more, depending on the program.
That's probably true. Yeah, I didn't even bust out. I just mock him about the school itself. I was like, wow, this is big. In fact, the Colorado University, on his dating app, it's all the Colorado University girls who try to get the Mines guys, is what they say. So
Engineers make good money. I mean, it's a solid strategy if you want someone that's like a provider to go after an engineer to date.
nice.
And they're good at fixing things, right? They're good at fixing
You
things.
want a
very-
handyman.
they're
you
very
want an
flexible.
engineer. Yeah.
Very flexible.
You want someone
And
to
that-
watch anime with you. You want an engineer. Yeah.
Actually, it was fun at his school at their, I don't know what you call it, inauguration day, the first day. The dean sat all the parents down. They said, and they tell them all, and they said, okay, we do have D&D as a special club, and please do not bring your 3D printers. And what's sad is like the entire
Why?
school, it was like, this is just weird that there's more of him.
Because every classroom has a 3D.
That's
printer
exactly
at
what they
school.
said.
That's-
But they didn't want the
Just
power
use
on the
ours.
room.
Don't
Yeah,
bring
that's
your
what they said.
own.
That's what they said. We have, entire labs full of them. You don't need to bring it. Don't worry. So yeah. So
What a
tell me,
wonderful problem to have. Yeah.
what kind of experiences did you experience? Anything where you would classify, like, give me the makeup of how you rated men throughout your
Ugh,
education
men.
and work, like
Ugh.
in general. And I'll be honest, I just had a conversation with his sister the other day, and she's like, you know what? She works in finance, and her problem that she said was that it's a man's world. So if I have to do it, I have to do it twice as hard to get the same type of promotion. And so that puts a huge tax on me. That's not fair. So throwing that comment out there, did you feel any of that same?
It is. It is. The world, I mean, looking at history and the way the world has been, women have been systematically oppressed, not able to have jobs. I'm the first woman in my family who's ever been able to get a business loan because women weren't allowed to have bank accounts without a cosigner until the 70s. Women weren't allowed to have their own credit cards until the 70s, business loans until recently. So it is very much women in the workforce. It's a new thing. Women having independence and being able to be single and having your own bank account is what changes the trajectory of your life. So yeah. And in school, I studied.
Women are allowed to vote now, aren't they, in America?
Not quite yet. Not quite yet. You have to, I mean, if they save enough in their bank
No.
account, then
Wait, what was that?
So I was like, women can vote now, can't they, in America?
For now, yeah. We got some problems in
Okay.
our political sphere right now that could make issues with that. But right now, yeah, I voted in the last election. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're not
But,
going to ask who because you're in Tennessee. But
Oh, I can tell you, it's very obvious. I've got blue hair. I voted for
good,
Harris.
good. Gotcha.
I believed in her messaging.
Well,
but
now Ethan and I both are fathers of daughters. And so we are on, team daughter for sure. So dive in more, give us some more here of like how and what our daughters are going to face, and maybe even some ways that we can assist them.
ways that you can assist it is calling it out every single time. It's not hard to clock when something was inappropriate or sexist or putting a woman down. What we need is more male allies because women can speak up, but if, it doesn't work as well as if another man is like, hey, not right. Just like any other group that's been oppressed, like if the people on that they see that the oppressor sees as like their equal level tells them that's wrong, then they're going to think about it differently than if it's someone that they're demeaning. That's like, hey, stop demeaning me. So we need more male allies. And I appreciate the question.
My daughter, when we go on a plane, she does this to me every single time. We always, because we fly United and we do the economy plus, so I can pay for a economy seat, but I have big legs. I'm 6'something".
Yeah.
So I sit up there and she always takes the window and I always sit in the middle. And she does this to me every time. She'll say really loud. She'll be like, "Stop manspreading," and she'll say that to the world. Of course, I'm like, thank you for that.
So it's a nice little lesson that daughters teach us. Little lessons.
Yeah. And I get called out for mansplaining often, so she puts me in
She's
check.
teaching you. You're
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
And isn't it nice to be a lifelong learner?
Yes, that's exactly. And I seem to offend her for everything, but that part I'm sort of trying to do. But yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So
Sometimes.
give us a breakdown now of where do you see men fitting the bar? Do you think men kind of got to slide through school? Do you see men who got to slide through work, maybe where you're like, a promotion passed you up, or maybe they had to do extra work, or
Here's what I'll tell you. When I was studying mechanical engineering, it was 90% men, 10% women. Every time I walked in the room, all eyes on me. Like, I'm constantly being watched. People want to know what I'm doing. I'm constantly like, and that is so annoying, but whatever, they like looking at me. That's fine. I'm pretty. I don't care.
Wait, do you mean that you feel there's undue pressure just because you're like, well, there's only a few women, so now you have to represent women? Or do you feel it's just
No, I
annoying
think
because there's
I
few
think
of
the
them?
pressure is like an internal thing. So I feel no pressure, but I notice that everyone's paying attention to me. I can also tell
just an
you
attention thing.
that when I got my job at Y12, I had one of my classmates say to a group of people when we're all like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like,
Spicy.
I'm at Y12. He's like, oh, you're a DEI hire. And I'm like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
first off, my name is Taya. Like, they don't know that's a woman. Second, be for real. I had spent 2 years at a company called United Technologies Aerospace Systems. And I started working for them after my sophomore year of college because I knew that everyone that graduated with me is going to have the same degree and I have to set myself apart with work experience. So I started working there. I worked my ass off. I did so well that they kept me for 2 years. I worked remotely while I was at school. I came back in the summer. And that manufacturing experience, I worked on a manufacturing floor with steel-toed boots. I did it. And I got the internship at Y12 because I had manufacturing experience. And that's what he told me. Actually, I answered the phone and the guy's like, is this Taya? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I expected you to be a man. They didn't even know I was a woman when they hired
Nice.
me. And then I worked
Nice.
my ass off and I got that. So men, this guy was jealous and he thought himself better than me and more deserving than me because he's a man, I guess. So you're always going to deal with annoying people like that. I just don't pay attention to them. The problem is when you're getting harassed at work. So I haven't had a lot of experiences getting harassed at work. And I don't know why, maybe I'm intimidating. I think the way I carry myself, like I'm just like a no nonsense gal. But
I
at
think,
Y12.
yeah, you're starting to scare me, so I could see where men be a little, on the.
Thank you. Thank you. So I had one incident where I came into work when I was like 20. And I was working at UTC Aerospace. And a man, like it was my first summer back. I had worked for 6 months. I took a semester off to work there. I went to school for a semester. I came back. And one of the guys like shouts across the floor where everybody can hear, shouts across the floor like, I'm glad you're back. And I'm like, happy to be back. And he's like, now I have something pretty to look at. That was gross. That guy had a daughter my age. I was too stunned to like really retort that. On a worse level, at Y12.
Now, wait, one question. If he was young and hot in your age, would you be as offended?
Yeah, like, ew.
Okay. All right.
As if on someone else's appearance is always
Shaming.
inappropriate. Saying that you're into me, I'm at work, always inappropriate every single time.
I've learned something here, Ethan. I'm no longer going to talk about the beard. It's done. It's over.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that.
But it is pretty
training
scruffy.
Again,
It
Joe,
is
I
pretty
think. You're gonna
scruffy,
have to
though.
do the training again.
Okay, so the guy blurts it out across the way. He definitely singles himself out as
a gross dude.
a gross guy.
Dude. I'm like, ew, yucky. I'm not here for you to look at. Like, and that like hurt my feelings because at school, I'm
Exactly.
working my ass off, proving myself. And he's like, you're pretty. Like,
He's trying to
F you.
discredit all the work you've done to get there, and
he
that's
was trying
probably
to
what
put
more
me in my
annoying.
place.
Yep. Right.
He was trying to put me in my place. Nasty old man trying to put me in my place. Whatever. He lives his life with that mindset.
How many other women were working there?
2.
Oh, wow. So there's just the 3 of you. Wow.
Actually, 5.
Were
There were
you
2
the only
women
pretty
in
one?
human resources. There was
And
one
2
woman
men that
in
identified
like
as women.
environmental
Yeah.
studies. Actually, I think it was just 4 of us. And there was one woman on the floor. There was actually a woman sitting right next to him, and she like giggled.
Wow.
And I'm like, girl, whatever. So there were 5 women in like the whole
And
thing.
give us an idea of like age span. I assume you
Mostly
were the
older
youngest by
people.
far, but mostly older.
People get into those manufacturing jobs that are cushy. Like that was a nice job to have.
Yeah. And they stay for life.
You stay there.
Yeah.
So this man's probably in his 40s. I'm like 20. He's telling me I'm pretty to look at. Gross.
How many?
Yucky.
Give us. I mean, I imagine you didn't talk to him and get to know him too well, but you were there for 3 years, so I assume you got to know some people.
2 years.
How many 2 years? How many had kids? Didn't have kids? Male compared to female?
I have no idea.
No idea. So
I
you don't get that
wasn't-
friendly. You're like,
I
shut
wasn't
up.
that friendly. I was there to work. Like,
yeah.
I'm
You are the
working.
serious one, man.
Yeah, I'm making $1. But I
And
knew
were you
him
work-
because I knew
Were-
his daughter went to school with me or with my sister.
Oh, that is creepy.
Weird dude.
Were you working in materials or something there? What were you working in? You can't tell us at all.
Oh, that was United Technologies Aerospace Systems, and I was a process engineer. So I helped improve like the processes of manufacturing airplane landing systems. Just documenting, recording it, making sure everything is written down how it needs to be. The processes. I did a lot of lean manufacturing events there too. So eliminating waste from processes, holding events, and it's and everything that I've ever done is for someone else has been process engineering.
A lot of
Developing
mechanical
systems.
engineers I have found end up in aviation, not pilots, but they're making rockets or some weird thing with aviation, it seems.
It's a cool space to be in,
Someone,
and it's
That's where
someone
the
told me
material
they're either
science
making. Someone
matters.
told me they're either making missiles or doing HVAC systems. That's when you get into mechanical engineering. So
mechanical. You can do just about anything. Any system that moves, you need a mechanical engineer. But at Y12, I wanna mention, I did have friends that got really harassed, like called stupid to their face.
what was the male female ratio there?
Mostly men. Always. It's like always just dudes. Like 80%. And then it turns
Loving
into like a good old boys club where
Mm.
they do harass people. And we're in Tennessee, so we've got problems with people think they're better than other people. Yeah.
It's funny because I remember being in a workforce with like maybe 40% women, and still the 60% men would, they're a little bit more vocal about what goes through their head, and especially towards the other sex. So I imagine where it's like 90% would be extreme. Yeah.
It is
Now,
extreme.
Ethan lived here for about 10 years, but he was in Arizona, so he doesn't quite know about the South. Did you get to the South, Ethan? It's a little different.
Yeah, I drove through it. I lived in Florida for 2 years.
Florida's its
all
own
right.
thing.
Yeah, especially if you're northern Florida. You
Florida's crazy.
I like Florida. It reminds me of home. It reminds me of here.
back to Y12
Sorry.
just a bit there, and
Yeah.
through all of your experiences, having it just be a work environment sounds like you're nose to the grindstone, very serious. You're in for a job and you're going to knock the job out. Do you think that is? Did you find men were as serious about their job? I mean, you did say there's a bunch of stuff, but in men, average them all out just by experience, total anecdotal.
I would say that I am so nose to the grindstone that I'm not paying attention to
even
anybody
notice.
else.
Well, then maybe we
I'm
can
just
do
doing
it.
my thing.
Maybe we can do it from extrapolation from the environment that you worked in. Did you find, I mean, because one, men typically work. And if we go really back to the traditional family, women were at home raising kids. And so most
Because
work
they
environments,
had to be.
because I like it.
Important
I
note,
like it. I
They
like it.
weren't
I think
allowed
that's,
to work.
Well, and boys still can't do it. Boys still can't make the baby. Like, we can help make the baby at the beginning, but we can't do the baking. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you
someone
can't
else has the
be
baby for
pregnant
us.
and give birth.
We can help it
but
come
you
out.
can change a diaper and get a bottle hot.
Yeah, yeah, do that all the time. Yeah, I love that.
so let's just call that the family unit. Did you work anywhere where you felt like the family unit was part of the work environment, where even men, if they wanted to step up and participate, taking care of, the family unit during the day could? But did you see any type, whether it was a state agency or a private place, that, supported a family unit being taken care of during the day?
That's what I'm trying to create with ATS.
I like it.
So I haven't seen it, but I've worked in places where you have to be there. You can't have your phone. You're in a secret place. And you're doing secret work. And what I'm trying to create with Meta Aflex is all of my employees work remotely. They work virtually. I don't have any set hours, so they can get all of their work done whenever they can get their work done. And it's all about deliverables. Like, did this project get completed on time? Were you responsive to the customer, before they like sent you a million emails, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of work culture I'm trying to create, where it is supportive and conducive to a family or to someone who likes to travel a lot or to whatever makes this person happy. Because if you have happy employees, then you have productive employees. And if you have employees that are paid well, then you have motivated employees. And it all goes back to just like feeding into the people that work there.
So basically, you took your experiences and you say they didn't seem conducive. At least you didn't notice. And so it is their job to get you to notice. But so you didn't notice. So you're nose to the grindstone. But now you've said, I want to make a place that is different. And so you're trying to create that at your own company and create a culture. And having started a few companies, the largest one had about 500 employees. It's not so easy. You would think it would be easy, but we gave unlimited PTO. All mothers and fathers could take time off to do anything. On every single call, I told them, like, your number one most important thing is your family. Second is what we do. We're just trying to find something to do during the day. And I don't know. There were still lots of people who, we tried. Granted, it's a small company if you really think about 500 employees, but it's not so easy to try to ignite an entire culture to wanting to grow a bigger family. It's not so big.
It's also hard to find the right people to work in a startup because it's very different. Some people like corporate. They like the structure. They like knowing what they're doing every day. In a startup, or I don't know, I don't have 500 employees, so I don't know what it's going to be like at that scale. But people at ATS right now, they wear a lot of different hats. Things will pop up and then their priorities change. And so it's a specific type of person who likes working and thrives in that kind of environment.
Yeah, lots of stress.
It is stressful. I
Going
try
back
to
to the
take the
idea-
stress off of people, but
That's where you put on your Meta Aflex.
yeah, relieve that stress. We automate where we can. Not everything can be automated. But I don't know. And I think that's the beauty of having a startup is the flexibility, and I can be agile and change things, and you can have a plan and it can change. I see ATS as an innovation hub. We're producing patents, we're making new technologies, we're marketing those, and then I want to partner with other companies that do other things. So like sales into specific systems and making exclusive deals with distributors that sell in certain regions of the world. And so our team isn't huge and bloated, but we still, make a lot of money, but we can focus on the places we want to focus and partner with the people that it makes sense to partner with.
What's your company makeup right now of male-female ratio?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's such a loaded question. I mean nothing by it, but
I
it's
do
fun
think
to
I
throw
have
in.
more. So I have agencies and part-time people, and the only full-time employee other than myself is a woman. Her name is Megan. She's She's my brand manager. And then I have part-time Justin, male, Mike, male. And then I have like some agencies like Jeremy, male, does SEO. Straight North is a big agency. I don't know who owns that. Our social media manager is owned by a woman. Who else? There's another ad agency that runs on Amazon, and I don't know who owns that. I don't know the actual owner. Yeah.
So a good makeup. I mean, it sounds like it's a.
And I'm about to hire an
match.
assistant, and I found her, and it's a woman, so I'm going to have 3 full-time
You found her. I was going to be
employees,
excited
all
if you said
ladies.
him. I was going to be excited if you made him be your assistant.
No, but
You
my
will be
other
doing all the
C-level-
washing.
My other C-level executive is a man. So Justin Stair, he's a certified hand therapist. But he's part-time. He works full-time at a hospital, at a research hospital, but does part-time work for me.
Okay.
And then my sales guy's
So-
a dude.
You said he's a hand therapist.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said he's a hand therapist. Is he there to like help study the effects of the gloves on the hand? Or
It's
He
just to
is?
relieve stress. It's like, all right, I'm feeling it. Like
He is.
pedicure.
He is helping us find research partners. He's also conducting, finding people to conduct the research. He's conducting a little bit of himself. He's also getting us into other countries. So we just got registered in Canada, and right now he's working
Nice.
on our CE mark for the EU. So he does all of the, regulatory and telling us Meta Aflex is good for this condition and this condition and this condition, and here's why, and just being the clinical lead at Meta Aflex.
You're busy. Your life is
does he come
packed.
up with, like, exercise probe stuff for the as well?
No, he does. We have him on video doing
I'm-
some of
I'm-
that stuff. So yeah, he's the clinical
Yeah,
expert.
cool.
He's the hand guy, and hopefully I can get him on full time soon. Probably when I raise my next round, I might make him an offer.
I like it. So you're busy. You got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Walk us through dating life up to here.
Dating?
Tell me, are you married? Do you have kids?
I'm not married. I have a cat. I'm a cat
nice.
lady.
Nice.
Dating
One
is
cat
blue
or
hair,
two
so-
cats?
just the one. She's a
I'm an
single-
advocate
she's a
of
single
two cats. So
child.
they help each other. So it's like,
I would like her to have a friend.
I had to get my cat a friend because I travel a fair bit and they keep each other company. So I've become a double cat, double dog guy.
I think
but,
I'm gonna need double cats because I'm traveling a lot too.
Yes.
Just so busy.
Yes. All right. So
I
tell
date.
us.
I date from time to time.
And like
I
most your
haven't found my
generation, this
person.
is via an app.
Sometimes I use an app. Why not? Sometimes I meet people in real life. I've met great people. I've dated
What-
wonderful people.
Give us
I've
give
dated
us
crappy people.
give us a sense of. Well, actually, now that you've stumbled on crappy people, define what the crappy people were. Like, what does not meet the bar?
Ooh, he just did not like me.
Oh, he did not like
it
you.
was a toxic relationship. That was not a
Was
good
it
one.
an old man who called you out across the floor? Right? No.
I don't date people that
They call
are.
you pretty all the time.
Everybody that I date is within a few years of my age. And I really like the really nerdy ones.
Oh,
I like
nice,
nerdy
nice.
people.
Listen
I like
there,
pretty
nerdy boys.
people.
She
Yeah.
didn't say pretty people. She did not judge you on your looks at all. It was just nerdy people.
I have
nerdy
preference. I like pretty people. I like to date,
Okay.
romantically be involved with pretty people, smart people. I date. And
Tell me, Dream Bob. Who is
my dream
who?
person.
Yeah, who is like? What are your
I
requirements?
don't know who they
Billy
are.
Bob.
Maybe I'll meet
Okay.
them one
Okay,
day.
so
and it'll
you're
be
open.
Beautiful.
You're open. Okay. Well, the reason I want to bring this up is I did find this just came out at the end of June, so I didn't share this last Sunday because I just barely found it. The study, my alma mater, Cornell. It's Benny Goldman is a professor, and he wrote a paper called "Bachelors Without Bachelors." And it is fantastic. It's actually pretty funny. If you want to find it, I can share. It's pretty funny. But he has some interesting stats in there that I thought we have to include these to really break it down. One, we have seen there's been a lot of sharing lately all over X, Twitter, that if you look at couples married from 1970 to now, marriage and owning a home has dropped like almost 40%. So that's been shared a lot out there. And so that's
Single
an interesting
women owning
step.
a home.
Well,
Also.
well, so that's what's interesting is he broke down bachelor's degree, no bachelor's degree, and it turns out that women with a bachelor's degree marry at almost the same rate that they did 40 years ago. Isn't that crazy? I was pretty shocked to find that out. And the real drop is women without a bachelor's and men even with a lower education, like some of them don't have high school. This group is not marrying and they're finding themselves single. So then there's some core stats out there that are very interesting. Percentage of 25 to 34-year-old with a bachelor's degree 47% of them are women, 37% of them are men. So more women are educated. And then labor force participation rate. So men, if you look over time, men's, which if you're familiar with participation rate, when they do the survey every month to ask you like, hey, if you're employed or you're not employed. Granted, I don't know what they're doing now that she got fired, but this is what the LBS does. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, she calls around, they do a survey, they ask you if you're working, and the participation rate for men in the 1970s was 96%. Now it's around 6%. And then women, of course, they didn't work. And so you see it's gone way up. So you're now seeing by percentage, men are still make up the larger portion of the workforce, but women are the fastest growing portion of the workforce, and men are reducing what they are in the workforce. So this is, happening. And they have the Gini coefficient. A lot of people use the Gini coefficient for various things to make a comparison, a 1-to-0 comparison. So in this research paper they did the same comparison where they found, all right, what are the matching functions for people, right? And the traditional ones are, a religion, or a family member. You got somebody in your family, they know each other, right? So these are things that you have that are in common. It could be the same location. You both went to the same school, something along those lines. And then the dating apps have popped in. And so it's now changed geography. And so geography is now slightly different because you can now vote for people on an app with likes. And so that has changed things. So the dynamic is interestingly moving. And what is happening now, people are still basically dating based on what they like. And so educated men are finding educated women. Educated women, in that, for the ones that find the educated men, they're finding each other. But because there are more women who are educated than men, there's a smaller pool. Women are actually marrying men without a bachelor's degree. And so people like yourself, Taya, who have a degree are now looking for men who don't have a degree. I just want to know your thoughts on that. Is that something you would scan for? Is that something that would matter to you?
I don't think that's something I would scan for, but I do think college gives you a unique perspective because you're meeting people that are different than you. So as long as, we align on everything, I don't really have many qualifiers other than you got to be my age, and then personality we have to align.
What about politics?
Values. Politics is very
What if you
important.
found that he voted for someone else?
Oh, if he voted for Trump, that's an immediate block. That's a no. If he didn't vote at all, that's a block too.
So I know
You
in the
gotta
article
be responsible, socially responsible.
The article I shared with you showed that very thing. As women are getting older, they're becoming more liberal. And as men get older, they become more conservative. Are you finding this
What a shame.
in your dating pool?
And I don't really go out and look for people. And I date women too. So, the women that I date are liberal.
I didn't have any stats on it. I didn't have anything. I tried to find
how
some,
many
but...
women are finding women?
Yeah, what do you got for
Right,
that,
exactly.
Joe?
That
So
could be.
what was
There's missing numbers. So it could be
There's
educated
missing
women are going with
numbers, 'cause
educated
I don't
women.
think
It's
gay
very
marriage was legal
possible.
until
It's
like
very
2015.
sexist stats.
So no, I wouldn't. Politics have to be aligned, children, religion, all of that. Because if it's not aligned, then you're going to have some problems in the future.
You'll probably have problems in the future anyway, because often people change.
People do change, but all of those main things, if that's aligned, then you can maybe work through the changes or work through the changes better.
I hear you. It's funny because we live in a time now where people are more, I think, more considering their partners, their mates married, and we're having more divorce than ever. This is what I'm saying. Whereas historically, you probably would have had more arranged marriages or more, this is the only option I have. This is the only other female my age in the village. And those marriages seem to last. That's all I'm saying. So it is.
What Ethan's trying to say is he's picked 4 times, and they haven't worked out. So maybe if somebody else could set him up.
I picked one time, and it was all religion, and it was terrible.
Ethan, let me pick the next one. I think
at least I've got some beautiful kids.
That's
out
true.
of it.
That's true. The baby daughter is, you got one girl now, right? 3 boys, 1 girl. So the baby daughter is what we're trying to help. We're trying to help
Finally
Ethan.
made a
We're trying to
daughter.
help Ethan overcome his own ways. And
No, all I'm saying is the problem is like I married because of religion, right?
Mhm.
And so 10 years or 12 years into our marriage, when we were both not on the same point religiously anymore, was like being on different political parties. You know what I mean? And it was impossible. One person was able to change and the other person wasn't.
where's Tyler? What has Tyler done now? I don't mean, you have to compare him to professionally, but is he married? Does he have kids? Your older brother?
He's not married. He doesn't have children. He does have a girlfriend, so he's
nice.
dating. My sister's married. She doesn't have children.
No kids. No kids.
So
What do your parents
she
think about
wins.
this?
She's already won. The youngest, she won.
She
She
got
got
it.
married to the love of her life. They're so happy.
High school
We're all
sweethearts.
so happy. No, they're not. They met in Florida. They met and they were just immediately like they're perfect for each other.
Nice. So you do believe in soulmates? They found it.
Oh,
Or is that
yeah,
sarcasm?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
no, they are
So-
proof of soulmates. Absolutely.
What do your parents think of this? I mean, I assume they want one of you to eventually produce some grandkids.
Oh yeah, they want grandkids, but
So do you get any
In this
do you get any
economy?
pressure? I like it. This economy.
in this economy, children, I gotta buy cat food tomorrow. You know.
So I mean, it sounds like they're not.
Weren't you considering a second cat?
And if I can afford one, then I may do it.
That's also part of startup life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
It is.
yes.
I have been able to guarantee myself a salary this year, which has been the first time
Wow!
I've done
Congratulations.
that. So we're
That
moving.
well,
up in
that
the
is
world.
when it comes to a startup, that's one of them. My latest one, I actually have 2 going right now, and it's not salary producing yet, either of them. So that's a big accomplishment when it crosses that line, because even though I'm sure it's not what you'd like it to be, but anything is better than nothing. So
Honestly, I pay myself pretty well. I deserve
that's
it.
great. That's awesome. Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, as you get more, you want to bring in as much as you can. But
Yeah,
the earlier
absolutely.
days, it's always a hard thing because you got to choose layoffs or salary. So yeah, it's a tough one.
Well,
Now,
yeah.
where are your plans now in the future? I mean, it sounds like parents aren't too much of a pressure for you to have any kids, to do anything. They're like, all right, we got one married. Woohoo! I'm guaranteed they're very proud of you. So I think they would be very excited to follow your career
Yeah.
and everything you're doing. Where do you stand on this? And I want to throw out some stats here. We just got a stat this morning about Japan. The government of Japan put out that the Japanese nationals, that means actual Japanese descents, there are 900,000 less of them in 2024. That means there were 900,000 less births than deaths. So that now, as actual population, I read, and it's not the total populations, because they are trying to, as much as people say they have a zero immigration policy, they don't. They are trying to get a lot of people to move there. And so immigration means the population only shrunk by 450,000. So they are bringing in immigrants, but the country itself dropped. And then what is interesting is not too distant from that. This is about 2 weeks ago. The same group that put out that number has 2/3 of Japanese people under the age of 40 are unsure how to find a spouse. According to the recent Japanese government survey, the nation of 124 million people only had 500,000 marriages in 2024. So in that regard, and that's kind of the idea is where do you see your future? It sounds like kids are definitely not a priority right now. It's like
No.
blazing ahead. It sounds like even finding somebody else, if they find you, fantastic, but you are not in search of them.
Not a priority.
Where do you see yourself 20 years from now? And I ask this because you'll be anecdotal evidence for your generation, if you will, of what are priorities and how things. Part of the show, we really talk about population decline and the different things that have changed it. And one of them to that is you're trying to build a company that also is conducive for women and men to have families. And so putting all those together, where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Yeah. I think what you just brought up is really interesting too, because now that women are allowed to work and have bank accounts and chase their dreams, we see less people getting married and less people having children because less people had to be married. And I think that's where that number is coming from. People are finding more freedom and they're not
And by
being
people, you
forced into
mean
this
women.
traditional family model. Well, women and men. I
New
mean,
people. What do
now
you mean
men are
new
able
people?
to be homemakers and men are able to chase their dreams because we don't have like this one version of masculinity where you have to get married and you have to be the provider and do these
The
things. For
construct.
the construct, all of these things that we forced upon ourselves that are not really how everybody wants to live. I see myself, I'll probably have sold ATS by then. I will be somewhere in the world learning some new skill. Like I want to go to France and learn painting. I want to learn sculpture. I want to learn about different cultures and religions. I want to go to every country in the world. So I'm going to be somewhere in the world, just like enjoying my life and living it to the fullest. Because we get this one life, and I'm gonna do everything that I like doing, or as much of it as I can. So I'm just gonna be chasing my dreams. And I think it would be cool to like find a person that is my soulmate and is this like perfect half of me. But I am really, really happy with my life how it is right now. So I would be fine being single forever because I love my life and I think I am a great company to keep. So I'm never like lonely or anything like that. And maybe I will adopt with or without a partner. Maybe I would have a kid. I don't, I'm just gonna, right now, I can only focus on what I'm doing right now and then strategizing a company. I don't know how I'm going to feel, and that's going to reflect in like those kind of big life choices.
Nice. I wanna leave you with a final question that is kind of directive. It lets you kind of vent a little bit, and that is, you haven't. You've only somewhat alluded to this. You haven't really said it, and that is, it's really about men, right? You said you haven't been looking, but there have been some men in the workplace that have changed things for you. But for men, what do men need to do? And by this, I'm not talking about so much about the older men. That guy's just gross. Not talking about that. So this is more, your dating pool. What do men now need to do different that they're not doing that might make them more appealing as you kind of are looking through this dating pool now?
This is gender neutral. Okay.
Okay.
Focus on yourself. Do what makes you happy. If you are happy, then you're glowing. If you're happy, then you're not going to settle for someone who's not aligned with you. It can feel, and I was one of those people that was always in a relationship until a few years ago. And I felt like I needed somebody and I felt like I wasn't complete by myself. And I am complete by myself. And every single person is complete by themselves. But it takes looking at yourself, working on yourself. And that's just like paying attention to like, what is this feeling in my body when this happens or when that happens? And how can I chase my own joy and my own happiness? And then you can find your happiness and you could find your person and make sure that that person is really aligned with you because you notice your body and your gut and your intuition. And you know that I feel good when I'm with this person, or I feel kind of sad when I'm with this person. And then, like that's not your person. So I would tell everyone to focus on yourself and chase what makes you happy and date yourself. And then you can show up for your partner better and just like live a more fulfilling life because you are the only person guaranteed to take care of you from birth to death. Like this is your person to take care of and that person is yourself. So make sure you're focused on making yourself happy and keeping yourself safe, and doing things that spark joy.
I love it. You heard it here, folks. Hostile Dysfunction, where we unpack the wild, interconnected chaos shaping the world, including the population's decline and all the reasons for it. Taya, it's been fantastic talking to you. I think we lost Ethan back there somewhere. He's in Australia, so sometimes this internet cuts out. But really appreciate talking to you. I had a fabulous time, and I'm definitely going to be following you along your career trail. Great talking to you, Taya, and look forward.
All right, good to talk to you too, Joseph. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Bye.
Bye.